Hey guys, I hope you all are doing just fine again and again and again. Okay, my name is Muhammad Faizli and I'm a student from the RB Highcom University of Automotive Malaysia that is currently taking Bachelor of International Islamic Banking and Finance, also known as BIBF. So today, I would like to talk about risk management in Islamic banks. This is the overview. Here's what you will get in this risk management in Islamic banks topic. The first one, the introduction of risk, types of risk in Islamic banks, and the last one is the concept of risk management in Islam. The table of contents contain overview, introduction, types of risk in Islamic banks, and the last one is the concept of risk management in Islam. Present globalization of international trade and financial markets provide opportunities for countries and financial institutions to do cross-border deals to increase international business and global banking. At the same time, globalization of financial markets also exposes businesses, financial institutions, and investors to risks of potential losses. These risks may come from uncertainties in unexpected fluctuations in asset prices, project failures, legal liabilities, accidents, natural causes, and disasters, as well as deliberate attacks from an adversary. So what is risk? It is the probability of negative outcomes, which could be as a result of an unexpected event happening either from factors within the bank such as staff negligence, mismanagement, or external forces outside the bank such as regulatory changes, economic downturn, or changes in tax or interest rate structure that have significant impact on the bank's performance. Proceed to the definition of risk. The first one, we have the definition from the conventional perspectives. Sharp, 1997, defines that risk as probability of negative outcome or potential losses that could bring an adverse impact to a bank. Risk is also defined as uncertainties of future events which might influence successful achievement of an organization's objectives and targets. Kate, 1997, defined as exposure to uncertainty of outcome, and Ahmad, 2003, said that risk is the possibility that the actual returns will deviate from the expected returns. Statistically, risk is defined as the probability of a negative outcome, variance, or standard deviation around the expected return, or as a shortfall probability. That is came from Fisher and Jordan, 1983, also including Sharp et al. 1995. So, this is the definition from the Islamic perspective. The first one we have Al-Ghari 2003 explains that risk in Arabic word is mukhatarah, which is defined as the situation that involves the probability of deviation from the path that leads to the unexpected or usual result. Risk is sometimes associated with mukhatarah and ghara. However, Gruning and Iqbal 2008 provide a more definite distinction between mukhatarah and ghara, where mukhatarah is risk and ghara is uncertainty. Ghara could also be referred as a situation in which either party to a contract has information regarding some elements of the subject of the contract that is withheld from the other party, or in which neither party has control over the subject of the contract. Elgari 2003 said that prohibition of ghara is therefore seen as a way mitigating risk by avoiding contracts with high information asymmetry. Types of risk in Islamic banks are credit risk, liquidity risk, funding risk, market risk, rate of return risk, withdrawal risk, solvency risk, operational risk, commodity price risk, reputation risk, and the last one is Sharia or legal risk. So guys, This is the concept of risk management in Islam. Risk management is a process of managing the risk by risk identification, risk assessment and measurement, risk control and mitigation, monitoring and review of the risk exposure, and risk reporting. In spite of the safe net, sound risk management is still needed for Islamic banking, more so for the following reasons. Firstly, rapid developments in conventional banking have influenced Islamic banks' operations to be more price competitive and to take greater risks. Secondly, dynamic changes in external and internal factors equally expose Islamic banks to many types of risk as the conventional banks. Thirdly, Islamic banking products and financing contracts are different in nature from loan and financing contracts in conventional banking. For example, the profit-loss sharing concept poses specific risks such as counterparty risk that require different risk management approach since this concept is not used in conventional banking. Guys, there are many evidence from the Quran and the Hadith which describe the concept of risk management. For instance, Surah Yusuf verses 46 till 48, Surah Yusuf verse 67, and Hadith about a person who had left his camel untied. Risk management by anticipating foreseeable negative events. Story of Prophet Yusuf alaihi salam. Prophet Yusuf alaihi salam interpreted the dream of the king, and based on his interpretation, he recommended a plan to face a drought. He proposed to the people of Egypt to actively plant crops during the first 7 years and store as much as they could. This is to prepare them to face the 7 years of drought as foreseen by Prophet Yusuf. Also, we have risk mitigation by diversification. Allah said, Further he said, O my children, do not enter the capital of Egypt by one gate, but go into it by different gates. However, know it well that I cannot ward off you. Allah's will for none other than He has any authority whatsoever. In Him I put my trust, and all who want to rely upon anyone should put their trust in Him alone. Yusuf 67. Furthermore, in Islamic risk management, we have also precaution and calculated risk. In the following hadith, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught on not leaving to chance but taking calculated risk. Why do not tie your camel? The Bedouin answered, I put my trust in God. The Prophet then said, tie up your camel first, then put your trust in God. Last but not least, risk management tools practiced by Islamic banks. Guys, did you know that the Islamic financial institutions have different orientations toward risk? In addition to credit, market, and operational risk, they are exposed to equity investment risk, which depend on the type of contract structured between the binding parties. These risks are specific to the contract type, namely musyarakah and mudarabah. Islamic banks are also exposed to performance risk in salam, istisna and ijara, Islamic product, and compliance risk in murabahah contract. Among the risk management tools include net income simulation, scenario analysis, risk thresholds, trading limits, counterparty limits, potential loss limits, stress test, and lastly, credit rating system. So guys, we have reached the last part, which is thanks. If you have any questions regarding to this topic, you can text me on Instagram, Facebook, or also Twitter at Fazli Alisensui according to your preferable platform. I hope my topic for today is very understandable for all of you. Before we end, do give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Bye, and I'll see you in the next time.